Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So this is what you see outside right now in the time of COVID-19 pandemic. We are staying at home and it's a nice weather outside. Can't do anything, can't go outside. So what else? What's better to do than talk about books? Today we're going to do a book review of one of the first books that got me into reading. It's a wonderful story. It is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. He is an award-winning British writer. In this book, it is adapted for a stage play and a movie adaptation is still in the works. I first read this more than 10 years ago, somewhere in 2008, and I was in college then. Amazed at how good the book was, I lent it to one of my professors in exchange of me borrowing a Dan Brown novel. I returned the book that I borrowed, but unfortunately, my first copy of this book wasn't returned anymore. My professor loved it. I didn't dare defy her. So, 5 years ago, somewhere in 2015, just for the purpose of having another copy of this book, again, just the joy of keeping a copy on my bookshelf, I purchased another one, and this book I'm holding right now is 5 years old already. I took it out from my bookshelf. I have removed the clingy wrap cover. Usually after I am done reading a book, I cover it with a clingy wrap, so it's kind of protection to maintain its good condition or quality. So if a book as like this one, if you let it to be exposed without any covering, usually after 5 years, you'll see here it will be of color dark brown already. But here, as you can see, I have, after covering it with a clingy wrap for 5 years, it's still in good condition, I must say. I've just reread this last week and I decided I'd make a review of this book. I really find it to be a good story and worthy of sharing it to you guys. So let's begin. I don't want to spoil the story, but let me try my best to describe the book in the best way possible without giving away the important events of this story. So what is the story about? Our protagonist is a 15-year-old boy named Christopher John Francis Boone who lives in England. Everyone calls him Christopher. He lives under the care of his father and he has a pet named Toby, a rat, which according to him is a clean one among other rats. Now, this is told in a first-person perspective by our protagonist, Christopher. Early on in the story, he narrates that his mother died 2 years ago. So it's just him and his father now living in their house. Now, our narrator loves math, science, or physics to be exact. He likes watching science-related documentaries. He dreams of becoming an astronaut one day. He plays video games. He likes numbers, knows all the prime numbers as a matter of fact. He enjoys solving math problems, basically. He loves the color red and hates the color yellow. He knows all the countries in the world and their capitals. He cannot stand being touched by other human beings, and he relates well to animals but has no understanding of human emotions. He doesn't talk to strangers. He lives on patterns and rules. And then one day, in the middle of the night, he went outside their house and got surprised to find their neighbor's dog named Wellington, which is a big poodle. He saw the dog to be dead. There was a garden fork sticking out of its body, and it is lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of their neighbor's house, just across from their house. So he went to the dog, he touched it, and confirmed it had just died recently. Then the owner, Mrs. Shears, saw Christopher hugging the dead dog, bloody and all. She got upset at what she saw. Eventually, the police arrived and tried to talk to Christopher as to the killing of the dog. Now, the police believed him as not the one responsible for the killing, but his father told him to stay out of trouble. Christopher is determined in finding out the mysterious death of the dog. He sets out on a journey using logical procedures, just like his favorite detective, Sherlock Holmes, in solving the mystery and finds out who the culprit is. As he sets out on a journey of finding out the truth of who killed Wellington, which is the dog, also unfolds the story of his mother's whereabouts, which might lead to his relationship with his father to be a troubled one. What are your least favorite parts of the book? I adore this book, really. It's one of my first taste of good book that has good writing, has a brilliant plot, likable character, and with great dialogues. Now, looking back, I didn't know that I was actually holding a really good work of literature. I thought there would be lots of types of this kind of writing and story and all, but I can say it's rare to encounter a book such as this one. And when you are just starting reading books and you get to encounter a brilliant book like this, it will then sort of set some standards for your next books to read. This book gave me that sort of what a good book should be. But to answer that question, to find one flaw, just one flaw, which is not the author's fault, by the way, it's just me. I don't like the graph here, the math and the numbers that are shown in some pages of this book. I just find it weird for a literature book of this quality to involve math in it. I am just not into math. But the writer is really brilliant to add some twist of putting maths and science in a work of literature, I must say, which also makes this book uniquely original. But it just makes perfect sense given the type of story this book has. Again, it's just me not liking math, forgive me. And another one is just a minor scenario where when Christopher has finally figured out who killed Wellington, the dog, Christopher asked this secondary character if the person who killed the dog gets penalized. The reply he got was no, because it's just a minor crime for killing a dog. And unless there's someone who will really file a complaint to the police, otherwise it's just a minor crime. My take on that is it's a big no in killing, let alone hurting any dog. Good thing another secondary character in the book made a good gesture at the end of the story, and that somehow they've redeemed the previous statement that was given. So the author still did balance it out. Next question is, what do you like about the book? I like the writing style, the dialogues, the plot, the awesome protagonist. This book is really well crafted, I must say. A wonderful book, full of surprises, full of insights, and the character, though one can recognize him of being in the spectrum of autism, is just ironically gifted. Brilliant, smart in any way that he's way better, logical person that I have encountered in literature. Mark Haddon has created a character that will be read by millions of future generations, I must say, in the next century, and will be in awe of this book, really. It's a powerful book. It tackles about unconditional love, the parenting. It gives you a glimpse of how parents handle situations in their everyday lives, having a special kid like our protagonist, the sacrifices and choices they make, all for the well-being of their child. The father and son relationship, the mother and son relationship gives you a better understanding of seeing life in another angle, which sometimes may look difficult for the outsider seeing others' lives, especially in the situation where Christopher is in. Mark Haddon delivered a wonderful creation, I must say. A protagonist who may be seen by this society as flawed, but with Mark Haddon's care, he made it to be not being flawed at all. I never felt or seen it that Christopher is different at all. I was actually rooting for Christopher. His logic, his reason, the way he sees the world, the way he sees it with very logical and reasonable aspect, which sometimes I myself get to really ponder on things as well. He made the protagonist just as humane as everybody, just as genuine as everybody, and a very relatable character, I must say. It's just pure brilliance, really. A gripping story. It's a mystery detective-like story in a literary style. It's a feel-good family story. What a deeply affecting novel. A brilliant book, I must say. Who would you recommend this book to? If you are looking for adventure mystery story with intelligent, deeply caring, and a brave protagonist, and with a tinge of a family drama, this is for you. If you're looking for a moving story with quality writing, artistic literary style, this is for you. This is a reliable first-person narrator with logic and a brilliant storyteller himself. Don't miss reading this book. Go pick it up. And to give you a glimpse of what kind of protagonist we have in this book, I'll let you know what he thinks about dogs, and here it is. I like dogs. You always know what a dog is thinking. It has 4 moods: happy, sad, cross, and concentrating. Also, dogs are faithful and they do not tell lies because they cannot talk. That's what he says. And how his relationship with his father takes care of him. He thinks, and father said, "Christopher, do you understand that I love you?" And I said, "Yes, because loving someone is helping them when they get into trouble and looking after them and telling them the truth. And father looks after me when I get into trouble, like coming to the police station. and he looks after me by cooking meals for me, and he always tells me the truth, which means that he loves me. There you have it. So that's how he thinks and rationalizes. So when you read the book, you'll encounter a lot of those nice, passages whenever he gives his thought on things. It's a moving story. The writing, it's really amazing. It is easy to follow, easy to digest, mesmerizing story. It comes in at 221 pages. It's a fast read. If you want to have a glimpse and know how the minds work of those in the autism spectrum, this is for you. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for joining me today. We'll talk more about books next time. If you like to see more videos like this, please click like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm your Pinoy booktuber. Basta-basta din pag may time. Bye!